Shatta Wale.
Why are you smiling?
Shatta Wale, I haven't met him before.
Okay.
But I like him.
Why?
You see, he tried to be different.
Okay.
To do the different thing. I've been thinking of once inviting him.
Yes.
Just to come and visit me.
No, I'll send a message to him.
Tell me that I just want to
hold his hand.
I love him.
Right after this interview, I'll call him.
Tell him.
And then you speak to him.
He should come and see me. Help me to walk.
Shatta Wale. What about, he said he tries to be different.
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Shatta Wale.
Obviously, just as tradition demands when it comes to mine operations, anytime Shatta movement calls, then definitely we would have to respond heavily and do as it says. Then after, when we are done, we come back to the shrine to do what is necessary. We come back to the shrine to do what is important. So I believe that those who have been monitoring for the past 2 days or so, Sammy Flex TV has been on a break. Not because someone is sick or something went wrong. It was because it was a weekend, number one. And again, it was because we had to do a trip to Tamale to be part of the Fancy Gadam One Dawn show. And we came back with loads of stories, loads of information that we cannot keep, but we have to share with the people. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a Shatta Movement report. This is an editorial right here on Sammy Flex TV. My name is Sammy Flex. Of course, when we came, we needed some sleep because it wasn't easy. Very tiring. Running here and there, overnight shows. I know how it feels like, so we are used to it. But then, work must continue. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shatta Movement Report. Welcome to the editorial right here on Sammy Flex TV. My name is Sammy Flex with my team of producers, Theophilus DeGosh, Desert, as well as Sam Tuga, for us to do this. Now, first, let me put my hands together for the people of Tamale. Yeah, man. You guys are tough. As a matter of fact, ever since I started rolling officially with Shatta Wale, this has been my first show with him in Tamale. And I must say that it was something that everybody in Tamale seems happy. In fact, after the show, walking through the airport, meeting people in town, random calls, social media, commentaries and all, everybody seems to be happy. What they saw, according to reports in the town or in the city, many of them have not seen such a thing before. Though there are many artists who have been staging their own shows in Tamale, that is the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium, but what we gave them, or better still, what they witnessed, they've not seen anything similar to it before. It was big and it was huge. Now, let me take a breakdown of the activities, then we can wrap up. It is the editorial, it is the Shatta Movement report. Therefore, we need to be precise, brief, and straight to the point. So once again, for the first time, Shatta Wale decided that, okay, Sammy, so there are some few people online who have been loyal, dedicated, and they have shown enough commitment to the Shatta Movement empire. Sometimes when we move out like this, they would want to have a treat. They would want to be a part of it. So this time around, let's make some 1 or 2 people part of it. And he said, well, let's make it 4. In fact, when we were even putting together now, he said, no, let's add some 1 more to it. So 5 people were selected for this course. Now, let me also announce that I think somewhere this week, I'll make sure I put them together so they come and share their own stories, their own experiences. I've seen some appreciative posts that they've put out online, and I can see how many of them are very excited about it. But moving forward, I'm going to host them so that they tell us their stories, how it was like being with Shatta Wale on a trip. We call it the Shatta Movement Royal Entourage, and it could be you next, so just take your time. many people are going to be experiencing this, trust me. Shatta Movement Royal Entourage, a project that has just started thanks to the boss of the empire bringing this initiative, and this project will surely be going on. So watch out for some more. So yes, the team together with him, obviously an artist doing hosting an artist. So Shatta Wale was so straightforward. He said, let's not treat Fancy Gadam as a promoter kind of gig, but let's treat him as a colleague artist or even as a junior to him. I remember he used some emphasis that, Fancy Gadam is like a Form 1 student coming to a Form 3 student and saying, oh, senior, I want some Gary Small. So you can only handle him with caution. So indeed, we handled Fancy Gadam with caution. So the team all meeting at the Kotoka International Airport, boarding flight to Tamale, and with the Shatta Movement Royal Entourage, they were also part of this. We arrived in Tamale successfully. I think less than an hour flight, and we were in Tamale. Big ups to Awa for that smooth transition from Accra to Tamale. It was just very great. Now, when we landed, just as when you go to some traditional areas like Tamale, like Osekrom, Kumase, like some places, when you get there, some things are customary. If you have time, when you do it, it looks so beautiful. And in Tamale, for instance, when you touch down and you are coming to do something of that prime importance, it will be good to pay a visit to some of the paramount chiefs there. So the team and Fancy Gadam decided, okay, let's see if we can visit some of them. So maybe out of the lot, we decided to visit two. First, we went to the Chogu Palace where we met the Choguna. And Choguna prayed for us, blessed us, and gave all the protection or whatever that he could give to us, with Shatta Wale leading us and the entire team. Of course, that is all that you need from such authorities. Their prayers, their protection, their guidance, and the fact that whatever you are going to do, they bless it for you as well. Once again, we were met with so many people all over. In fact, you wouldn't even get a space to put a feet because the whole space was choked. Everybody was just there at the Chogu Palace, and the Choguna also prayed for us. So right from the Choguna Palace, we went to the biggest of all, that is the Dakpema Palace. And when we went to the Dakpema Palace, we also met with the Dakpema. Same way, he also prayed for us. He also blessed the show, and he also gave us his protection and the fact that whatever we are coming to do at the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium, he is also blessing it. And we also enjoyed the blessings from the Dakwema as well. And once again, over there too, a lot of crowd. In fact, that was where we saw Shatta Wale dancing that traditional thing. So many people have seen it, where they played that appellation for you, just to welcome you, just to make you feel great. And as usual, when Shatta came out of all these palaces, the Chogu Palace and the Dakwema Palace, you know his thing. He also decided to bless the township with some money, throwing left, right, and center, and making sure Tamale fans also enjoy some of his sweats. And the street was just busy, people flying left, right, and center, trying to catch a note from Shatta Wale, which is enough blessing, which is enough memory for them alone that, oh, I got this X amount of money when Shatta Wale came to town. That one was also heavily and beautifully registered. So right after, there wasn't any official floats. Let me say this, because some people have seen some videos, some photos of many people on a motorbike following our convoy. It wasn't a float in Tamale. I'm sure some years ago when Fancy Gadam and Makasio had their issues, the authorities banned them on this float of a thing. Even with a little we did, some of the vehicles driving recklessly, some of them had their own issues that to be talked about some other day. And so there wasn't any official float. So right after that, we had to move to our apartment to take a rest and to prepare for the night. Of course, it is like that. Everywhere Shatta Wale goes, the fans wouldn't even allow him to get enough space. There will be noise, there will be waiting, there will be going out and about for whatever they want to achieve. They only know. I know, obviously, all the time they want to catch glimpse of him. They just want to seem like, oh, me too, I saw Shatta Wale. Feel it. So yes, the people were there. We went to take a rest. thanks to, I think, Gateway Lodge, yeah, I think that's the name, Gateway Lodge. That was where we resided. Here it's around, they call the place Russia apartment or something, Russia Bungalow. Thank you. They call the place Russia Bungalow. Shout out to the management of Gateway Lodge or Gateway Apartment at Russia Bungalow in Tamale. Oh, we also met with Shefaila. Remember Shefaila, the woman who did the cookathon from Tamale. She was part of the people who prepared some sumptuous meals for us throughout the day. So big shout outs to Shefaila for that particular treat. We enjoyed the hospitality and everything that was there. So right after, the team had to go do sound check to prepare for the night. When we even went for the sound check, we could feel the energy. We could feel the fact that the place was so busy. We could feel the fact that the people were just ready to come out. And oh my goodness, doing sound check around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. there, the stadium was even charged. People were there. The sound check me feels like a performance already. I've seen some people put out videos. Oh my God. Of course, I'm doing sound check. I have to do it exactly how my superstar, my mega star will do it. So I just tried to show some antics more, and people have put videos out and making all sorts of stories about some influence. But that is fine. It's part of the job. You can't follow an artist and be scared of the cameras. So I am not. I'm used to cameras very, very well. So that is fine. So that was also beautifully done. How the people were excited seeing us, the sound check, and we were done. We had to go. They gave us around 3 a.m. to come for our performance because they know in such areas, shows don't start early. So originally they were supposed to even start their show at 10 p.m. That was what was on paper. Obviously, it even started later than that because as of around almost 10 p.m., we were still at the stadium finishing or wrapping up our sound check activity. So we went to once again take a respite. Came back and oh my goodness, when I got there at 3 a.m., the time given to us to go, first of all, to go check the grounds if it is okay for the superstar to come through, the place was heavily filled everywhere. Of course, Tamale really loves Fancy Gadam. I was there and I witnessed some of his performance, at least the last hour bit to the end of his performance. I witnessed it and oh my goodness, this was huge. Fancy Gadam is a big deal in Tamale. Take it or leave it. In fact, hate it or like it. Fancy Gadam is a big deal in Tamale. What I experienced, over the years, I've been interviewing him and Macasio that I see you guys doing some great works in Tamale. And we don't feel it. We don't see it. So why have you not been inviting us to come see it? And what I witnessed, what I saw, a real reflection of who they are in that part of the town. And this was an era for Fancy Gadam. This was a season for Fancy Gadam. And what I saw was huge. It wasn't easy because I know how it is done here in Accra. Not many artists in Accra can put such numbers at the stadium. But he did it. And he gave them back-to-back performances. Almost all his songs, the people were just singing along. When he drops the song, they would take it up. Some of them, he was not even playing the main tune from the DJ. He would just raise it the a cappella way and they would take it, sing throughout. So, wow, like that was real love. Because most of the languages or the language they were singing or speaking in, I was not too familiar with it. I could just admire it because, yeah, even if I could speak it, I didn't understand it, whatever it was. I was just admiring the energy in the auditorium, and that was, the stadium rather, and that was good. Big shout outs to DJ Carlos. DJ Carlos was the official MC of the program, and I want to also apologize to DJ Carlos for some mishap that happened on the stage. Big man, sorry about that. Some of these things happen in the heat of the moment, so I believe that you'd find a place in your heart to forgive the team, and let's move on. And another guy like that, I've forgotten his name, who was also part of the Fancy Gadam team, another misunderstanding or mishap like that. But it is fine. We have been seeing all these things. We just do it, and the next minute we are fine because we know when we are in that heat, anything can happen. So you make sure out of the adrenaline, you solve all the problems before we move on to other issues. So that is fine and all is well. So yeah, after Fancy Gadam, people spraying cash on him on the stage and all the things that were done on the stage. Then it was time for the king to come through. Me, I knew this show was going to end with daylight. I was so sure. Even when we were doing sound check, I told them that, are you guys ready to leave here at 7 a.m.? Won't you guys go to work? Blah, blah, blah. And they said they were ready. So I was so sure. So when Shatta hit stage, either early 4 or almost 4, the place was charged. And obviously the entry, the energy, the adrenaline, oh my goodness, it was just so beautiful to watch. And that was how Shatta started from about 4 a.m. Gave them back-to-back hits, obviously with intermittent speeches like he has always been doing on the stage. And we saw daylight coming. Like as if we were just playing. We saw daylight coming and said, well, that's what I said. So like almost 6 a.m., we were still on the stage. And obviously, because Tamale is a serious religious area, traditional area, they don't joke with their prayers. When I went there, I saw something, I was like, wow. Every corner they get when it's time to pray, they pray. I saw one guy who had parked his car. And you know the metal slab that they put on gutters. He's put some clothes there and he was praying. I said, hey, these are serious people. It was time for prayers. He parked his car, the metal slugs on the gutters, put some clothes on it, and back. He was praying. I said, hey, how religious could we all be like this? But well, that is just by the way. Yeah, so when it is 6 o'clock, you know, many of them would surely go out to pray. So when it was getting 6, obviously, Shatta, who is a smart stage performer, would see the signal and definitely he had to bring the show to an end. So we closed the show daylight, like you saw it, daylight. And that was how it ended in Tamale. Shatta couldn't also once again leave the stadium without showing love. Decided to come out of his car, bless them with some city notes, and the whole stadium was happy. Everybody was excited. Now, after reports, stories, I'm reading online, social media commentaries, Tamale is just happy. Tamale is excited. Everybody is so happy with what we witnessed or what we watched. And Fancy Gadam is also very grateful to all the fans who came for the show, especially Gadam Nation fans as well as Shatta Movement Empire fans from across the 3 northern regions. Because I want to believe many came from far and near. From Bolga, we saw some of the people come all the way from Bolga to come experience the concert and all. That was beautifully executed. Let me say big ups to Team Fancy Gadam. I think they did well. Beautiful stage setup, not over elaborated or overly elaborated, but it was cool. Some cool sound, enough space for artists to perform, enough space to also accommodate the stubborn people who would even not go off stage no matter how you talk to them. So all these things were beautifully executed. To Fancy Gadam, congratulations. Your one done show with Shatta Wale is a historic one. In fact, Tamale won't forget about this. Tamale will always remember this day. And I am so happy that for the first time I experienced. Now, Shatta said some 1 or 2 things on the stake that I would want to touch on before I run away from here. Number 1, he talked about the fact that Fancy Gadam and Macasio, it is time for them to be united. He talked about the fact that over the years, the chiefs and people in the area, they have been worried about how the two of them, they've been getting some misunderstanding and issues here and there. He talked about the fact that it is time for them to come together and sort out every issue, whatever that is there. And I want to tell you that this message went down with the people and they are sure going to abide by it. Shatta Movement loves the rest of the people, whether you are here or there. He wants all of them to come together so they can do it together. And that is one message that Shatta gave. He also talked about the peace of the people, the fact that they all have to come together to make sure there is peace among them. Work hard, as he's been saying, that anytime as a young person, all that you have to do is to work hard. Just make sure you work hard. And when you're able to work hard, any other thing shall be added unto you. He blessed Tamale. And at least we have broken our Tamale virginity in a long while, especially with me. I have broken my Tamale virginity with Shatta Wale. So now, the rest of the regions are also active. Everybody is calling. Everybody wants to be a part of this. Time is up. We are ready. let's hit the road and keep it running. And I know, just as we recorded success, everywhere Shatta Wale goes, we will sport there, and we will come to your area to sport there as well. So get ready and let's run this. I brought this editorial from Tamale. At the moment, I'm in Accra. Did I say I'm in Ghana? I'm in Accra, but I'm bringing you reports from Tamale, whatever happened there, just so you know. So know this: we came to Accra successfully last night or yesterday in the evening. Every team member beautifully fit, every team member gracefully energetic, and I want to believe everybody has taken some enough rest and we can go ahead to do what we've got to do. Stay blessed, and remember that we are active. Link up with Shatta Movement if you want to have that successful concert. We are always available. Our doors are open. Let's do the business right, and sure, we will be here.
Yeah. This is your boy, Wale Music TV. Send subscribe my show. Wanna subscribe him. If you wanna click bell, no do. Na me the video be out tomorrow. I want the first person about share. If you wanna drop a comment was so. Wale Music TV. Yes, Shatta Wale ni TV. I yebo more Shatta Wale ni news. Na update. Everything be a friend Shatta Wale who be a once a back on the more platform me do. Into bomb more than subscribe. Next share. Now brother and I was system who edumede di Wale Music TV. Video be able post on what day be a ba Shatta Wale. Inti say Shatta Wale no fan question dia. Blend a bit good news. Blend never share. Never subscribe. Now brother and our system who edumede di the more platform me do. Video be able post on what day be a ba Shatta Wale. Inti say ejimu di day Shatta Wale fan question dia. Blend a bit good news ba Shatta Wale. Ne bomb na share. Now brother and our sister. Who edumede di Wale Music TV. Thank you.